Hi everybody, it's me, Corey T, and in this video I want to talk about the question, do you need to heal before you manifest a relationship or a specific person? And just as a spoiler alert, the answer is no, you don't. But in this video we're going to be talking about why it is of massive benefit to you and the other people around you that you really work on your self-concept, your beliefs, and your trauma that you might have experienced from the past that may still be affecting your perceptions and the way that you're feeling in relationships. Because in taking responsibility for this, you're taking responsibility for how the relationship can thrive. Now, I've been on this healing journey for a while now, and I've experienced being very, very, very unhealed and witnessing how it's impacted my relationship. And I've also witnessed within me the changes that I've experienced in myself and the way I generally feel through doing the healing work, and how that has massively impacted the relationship that I've got now. What I want for you is that you get a head start. If you're not in a relationship now, or you're manifesting a specific person, I want you to get a head start so that when you get into a relationship, it's so much easier for you to create the relationship that you actually want, rather than going through what I actually had to go through when I got into my relationship that I'm in now. At the beginning, which I'll talk about later in this video, when even though I'd done quite a lot of work on myself, I still had old patterns, old belief systems, and old things really impacting the way that I was experiencing the relationship. It's taken me a lot of self-compassion, a lot of self-exploration, and I suppose time for me to really feel ready to address a lot of the issues and trauma and belief systems that I've had within myself. And I'm so glad that I've done it and that I've been on this journey, because it has transformed the relationship that I'm in now to an unrecognizable level. And I believe that yes, you can manifest a specific person at any point in whatever state you are in, but just take the opportunity to give yourself a head start so that when you get there, it's easier and you don't have to go through the same uphill battle that I went through, particularly at the beginning of my relationship. And even sometimes now I'm still working through things, but it's a hell of a lot easier now that I've done the work. The other thing that I've noticed as well about working on self-concept and belief and resolving trauma within me is that generally it's easier to manifest stuff. It just happens much more easily because my vision and my thoughts are not clouded by all of these unhelpful beliefs and thoughts that they're producing, getting in the way of me thinking in the way that I want to create what I want. So that's another reason why I think it's really important that we do this work. It doesn't mean that it's not possible to manifest literally anything from whatever state that you're in. It just means that it happens a lot easier and quicker, and you start feeling better about yourself and more powerful. And it's just a better way to live, and we all deserve that. We all deserve to just feel better and feel like our authentic, calm, happy selves. So before I jump into this video, you might have seen I'm doing a 5-week course about self-concept and inner healing. I'm so excited to dive really deep into many different areas of self-concept and healing, because what we'll be doing in this course by diving deep into these areas of healing and self-transformation and self-responsibility is creating the solid foundation that I've talked about so many times in my videos for you to be able to create whatever you want from and feel good and confident about it and sure of yourself and really connect to your most authentic self, which is your most powerful, incredible you, the you that you're meant to be. And each week I will be giving you exercises and things to do to really integrate what we've learned in each lesson so that you can rewire those neural pathways and actually feel a massive transformation by the end of the course. So if you want to know more about that and you want to book onto it, then the link will be below. The course starts on the 14th of May and I can't wait to see you there. There's loads of information on the website, breakdown of all the different modules. And if you have any questions, just send me an email or direct message me on Instagram. Right, so into the video. Do you need to heal in order to create an amazing relationship? And do you need to do it before you create the relationship or before your specific person comes back? No, you don't. You can create from any state. And often in this community, we're talking a lot about self-love and healing. And I know I talk about it a lot, But this can create a misconception that you need to be perfectly healed and love yourself like 125% before anything can actually happen. And that's not true, because so much of the time people message me saying, do I really not love myself that much? Now, let me tell you something. Your pain and your anxiety about your frustration about whether something's happened or not happened, or if someone hasn't messaged you, or if you're in silence and you're feeling sad about that and you're wondering when they're going to come back, or you're wondering when you're going to get into a relationship, or you're feeling like there's something wrong with you, your pain about that is not an indication of when they're coming back. It's not an indication of if they're coming back. It's an indication of how reliant you are on that person for your sense of happiness, well-being, for your sense of self-love. So it's really important that you see this pain and you see the anxiety as something that you can think, oh my God, look, there I am. I'm feeling really sad about this and I'm feeling in pain about this. And that's understandable, because relationships and our emotions and our belief systems and our old patterns is quite complicated. There's lots of networks and neural pathways going off, and we're feeling very confused a lot of the time. So we have to have compassion for ourselves for that. But we have to understand that if we're feeling really bad and we're really disappointed that someone didn't message us, or that we haven't heard from them for a long time, or that they did something that was very hurtful to us, we have to understand that the level of pain that we are experiencing is equal to the amount that we are dependent on that person. And that's where our work is. That's where our self-concept comes in. And that's where we've got work to do on shifting the way that we feel about ourselves, on worthiness, on trusting ourselves and that things work out. And this is where we can create some amazing foundational beliefs that keep us safe in these situations, that allow us to trust that we are exactly where we're meant to be. That whatever someone says or doesn't say, does or doesn't do, is not a reflection of your worth or your value, and actually has nothing to do with it. And what we have to do is remember who we are, remember our authentic selves, because our authentic selves know, first of all, that it's okay to feel any emotion. And that's a belief that has saved me so much in this relationship, because I used to think that I had to be perfectly happy and that I had to be really good with myself, totally calm all the time for me to be in a relationship. And that was a belief I had, and it stopped me from being in a healthy relationship, because actually it's very human to feel many, many things, isn't it? So our authentic self knows that it's okay to feel anxiety and sadness, and it's okay to feel those things, but it doesn't judge you for feeling that. And when we can connect to our feelings and allow them to just be felt and expressed, and know that it's okay, they're going to come through you, out of you, and then they're going to go, then it's a lot easier for you to feel whatever you feel and know that it's okay for you to be where you are, and that your self-love and your self-worth is still intact, even if you feel low and down and depressed. But you're not pinning it on someone, you're not pinning it on the fault of someone else. Having the awareness that it's okay for you to feel everything that you feel, and loving those parts of yourself that feel down and sad and depressed, is a really powerful thing that you can do in your relationship, right? Because actually it allows you to be completely who you are, and it gives the other person the space to be completely who they are too. We're human. We're going to have so many different emotions in life, and we need to be able to feel free to experience all of them, and to be able to trust ourselves that we can get through anything, we can get through any emotion. So when you give yourself that love and you say to yourself, it's okay for me to feel everything I feel, I love my anxiety. When you do that, it changes so much in the relationship, because you're not afraid to feel what you feel, and it means that the other person can be there for you and love you through those emotions as well. I had this amazing experience of when I started saying to myself, I love my anxiety, I love everything I feel is right. And then one day when I was anxious, a while ago now, Johnny said to me, I love you and I love your anxiety too. And it was like, wow, it's okay. It's okay for me to feel everything. I'm fine, I'm safe, and it changes everything. So please have compassion for whatever it is that you feel. And this is another reason why I feel like it's so important and so worthwhile to do this work on the healing and understanding ourselves and changing our self-concept and our negative beliefs that have held us back for so long. Many of you know that when me and Johnny started speaking after 9 months of being apart, I was upset that day. I wasn't expecting that was the day that we were going to get back together. I was looking at our text messages and missing him and feeling sad about it and in pain. And I knew that I had a lot of work to do on my dependency on him. The difference was that I had that awareness. Before, I just felt so sad and I'd felt so upset that he wasn't there and that I was blaming him and why won't he come back and why won't things change and stuff. But in this case, I knew that I had work to do on my dependency of him, but it didn't stop him from coming back. You see, me feeling bad and sad did not stop him from manifesting in my life again. But the work is for you to be able to shift your self-concept and shift your awareness of how worthy, amazing and valuable you are, so that you don't need to be dependent on another person. And that reduces that pain and that anxiety like so much. So whenever me and Johnny first got together, like I say, I was not healed. And honestly, I'm still not, but I'm a hell of a lot better than I was before, so much better. And at the beginning of our relationship, there was turbulence, there was drama, and there was a very near breakup because I was perceiving our relationship through the eyes of someone who still had this belief that people don't show up for me. People don't want to love me. People don't stay. Men don't stay. Men leave. All of this, I was still really feeling the anxiety of those old beliefs. And so I was looking at things that he was doing and thinking that they were a threat to me or my self-concept. And it was creating arguments. I was blaming him. And this is why I knew I still had work to do. And so at the beginning, there was tension, there was friction, there was anxiety, there was pressure, and it was difficult. But things got easier when I started taking responsibility for my own emotions and when I started changing my language in my communication about how I was feeling from "you triggered me" to "I feel triggered." That is such a huge shift that allows you to take responsibility and takes the pressure off the other person to fix it, because it's not their job. It's not another person's job to fix us, and actually they can't. And the reason why I know this is because at the beginning of our relationship as well, there was also times where Johnny would say to me, "I just love you so much and I'm so happy that we're finally together." I found it really hard to feel what he was saying. I found it really hard to actually experience it because I still wasn't there yet with my self-concept. So it's impossible for someone to jump into our body and make us feel anything. They can't do it. That's why it's got to be us. That's why we've got to shift our self-concept so that we can look for the positives, look for the things that people are doing right, look for the ways that we can trust. And that comes from trusting ourselves. So that's what this course that I've created is all about, creating that really solid foundation. Whether you're in a relationship now or you're manifesting one, you can take the time wherever you are to do this work for you to create a relationship that really, really does work. And you can manifest the relationship that you've absolutely always dreamed of. But what I'm doing in this course is giving you the guidance of putting all of this information about healing and about taking responsibility and about self-concept into a step-by-step approach so that it makes sense, so that it's not all like, what do I do next? And I think it's going to be really transformational, really powerful, and I can't wait. So sorry I got sidetracked because I'm so excited about that. In summary of this video, you don't need to be healed to manifest a relationship or to be in one. But I do believe that you do need to have the awareness to know that it's your responsibility to tend to your triggers, to work through your old belief systems and to take responsibility for the way that you are perceiving things, and really take the time to reflect on yourself and the way that you are feeling so that you can create the relationship that you've always wanted, rather than going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and having this hot and cold thing, which so many people experience and so many people talk about. I think we can manifest a relationship at any point because our minds are so powerful, and we can create that inner experience of feeling like we're in the relationship. We can create that inner experience of knowing that it's done, that knowing that we're worthy of having a relationship. But the real test is being in the relationship. And we've got to take the opportunity that we can to do this work. It's like going to a school test and having done a bit of revision here and there, but then you go to the test and you think, oh my God, I'm not ready for this. But if you do the work and you consistently do it and you commit to yourself, when you're in the test, when you're in the exam, you're going to know what you're doing. You're going to be prepared for those triggers. You're going to be prepared for those difficult questions and difficult conversations, because the relationship is the test where you're more likely to get triggered. So that's why it's important for you to do the work while you have the time. I think we're always evolving, always growing, and we can always learn to soothe and heal ourselves better and better all the time. So maybe this has given some of you some reassurance that you don't need to feel completely okay all the time for you to manifest a relationship or a specific person, and that you're not doing anything wrong by feeling what you're feeling. We've just got to have compassion for ourselves for what we feel and work through and take responsibility for those feelings so that we can grow and evolve and feel better and better and better. And there's a way to do that. It's possible. You're on the way there now. You're supposed to be exactly where you are now. And I think you should take some time to really, really love yourself today. Really, really understand that everything you're feeling is the result of many things that you experienced in your life, that many of them were out of your control. And at the moment, you're working on that. You're healing, you're growing. And if you would like some help with that, I'd love to be able to help you, either in a one-to-one session or on the course that I'm doing on the 14th of May. You can just let me know, either through my website, my email, or direct message me. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.